Hey guys, this is Mark. In this video I will talk about a data type that is called auto number, also known as auto increment. As the name suggests, it is a data type where values for the column are going to be automatically assigned and automatically incremented. And what this means is that when you add data to your table, for the column of that type, the value will be automatically assigned. It is going to be an integer, and then for every new record, that number will be automatically incremented. It's a very simple but very powerful and useful concept, especially when you want to assign a unique value that is easy to see and understand. There is a unique value that is assigned already to every single record that is called object ID, but it's a long hexadecimal string consisting of, I believe, 36 characters, and sometimes it may not be easy to work with. So let me demonstrate what auto number and auto increment looks like, and there are some caveats to keep in mind when it comes to the configuration for that column type. So here I do have my schema for the person table, and let's create a column of the auto number data type. Before I do this, let's take a look at what we already have in the database. So these are the records that I have, and as you can see, there are 9 records. And here in the table editor, click new, and let's say that data type, that column name is going to be person ID. In the type drop-down, there is this data type, auto number, auto increment, and in here there is also initial value that we will talk about. The description, you know what it is. It's to provide some additional context for you as a developer when you work with columns. We'll skip this. So for now, let's just keep it as is and click create. So what happens if we go back to data browser, you'll see that there is this column, and as you can see, for every single record that we already had in the database, a value was assigned starting from 1. And at this point, if I were to create additional records in that table, for instance using the API, I will set up my JSON object. Let's say the name of the person is going to be Henry, and age will be 55. So here, when I save that record, you see that the person ID was automatically assigned, and it is 10 to continue the sequence that was already established in the database. And then to continue this, whenever you start adding, saving new records in that table, the person ID will be automatically incremented. What's interesting is that if I were to delete that Henry record that had number 10 and create that record again, the person ID continues. So because 10 was sort of a slot that was already taken, even though the record is removed, it will continue incrementing from the last known value that was assigned to a record. So here it is 11. And this automatic numbering is actually transactional. So if you have a high traffic application where a lot of records are being created, the database will make sure that every single one of them will get a unique number. Now, if we go back to schema and select our person ID, the initial value you can actually customize. And whenever you assign the initial value, any values that already exist in a database, and at this point we know they go from 1 to 11, from that point on, once the initial value is assigned, and let's say it is going to be 200, any new records that will be created will start at 200 and then will be automatically incremented. Let me demonstrate this. So here's 200, click update. Nothing will change in here, but if I were to create a database record, and we can use exactly the same request body, saving the same person. Well, it's going to be a new person because it's going to be a new record. But when I save that person, you see that the person ID now is 200. So this way you can, and here it is. This is our record. So this way you can control. And at this point, the next record that is saved will be 201, 202, and so on. If you were to go back and modify it again and then go below 200, the database will not allow you to do this. In fact, you'll be able to save it. It will click update. It looks like it's saved. And it's something we probably need to do something with the user experience. But if I go back to edit that column, you'll see that the initial value was modified to the next available data slot. So in other words, if at any point of time the auto number has gone up to a certain value, and you go back to modify the initial value and go below that value, the database will adjust it for you to the next available value. So you can go up, and for instance here I can save, let's say 1000, it will accept it, but I cannot go below 200 because that was the threshold that was once previously established. That's something that you need to keep in mind. Other than that, very easy to use. If you already have data, as you saw, it will automatically assign those values starting from 1, and then you can modify the initial value as you go, which is probably not a good idea, but there may be some cases when you need to do that. Anyway, that's auto number for you. Thank you for watching this video, and as always, happy coding.